Haven't seen him around lately, strutting around.
Hearing it may destabilize him. You sure you've gotten everything from him?
No. I waited too long. I waited too long and now he's dead?
I'm sorry, Mr. Dross. I understand you knew him for a long time.
They're all dead now.
If he really wanted to kill him so bad, he would have done. There must have been 1,000 black days on these islands. His health ailing.
All human beings care about each other. I cared for seeing his head explode. Now, God damn this one. And I blew them all. What does it matter now? He's... fuck you. You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck.
He's not okay. This is just another black day in a row of black days. Something... Oh no, the connection doesn't come to you on such a pivotal... Dumbo, do something. You can't zone out now. This isn't Doodaloo dance time. Slap yourself in the head again. Jumpstart it.
Officer!
He quickly realizes what is happening.
Mr. Dross, about this deal you made with Edgar. The death of the colonel mercenary was only coincidentally beneficial to the Clares. But what about the other people you've killed?
Other people?
Like the previous 4 women of the Union.
That's it. That's what you weren't connecting yourself.
I didn't fight 40 years to end up an informant for the Internet.
Still dumb. Your eyes are transfixed on his digit. It's yellow with nicotine. You are the law. He must divulge the information.
Look who's up. From the drunken stupor. This one's worse for wear than me. And so emotional. Life is hard for us humans.
We will have plenty of time to talk about this later, Mr. Dross. When you're in pre-detention. It can take years in pre-detention.
Go ahead. I've been in...
Ease off it. This was not an unmitigated disaster. The lieutenant mitigated it.
Glad we talked about what?
His lip curls into a...
Glad we talked about what? What? But you said I would be taken to the...
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements and mood swings he's been exhibiting. The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken.
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face... Do you
But... No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead. Pupils are dilated too.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
There it is again. To your north, as it has been since you came to the coast. Something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very slowly being drawn against the strings of a violin. A very small violin, made of reeds and rushes.
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat. What?
What are you talking about? Is this...
Your skin crawls. A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
What are you talking about? There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand rise instinctively.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. If you can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence, its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled. The segmented antennae move with apprehension, searching for something that's not there. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks. The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch. Be afraid. You smell wrong.
It is.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds. No! The flash will scare the creature off. Warn him now.
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the Phasmid's limbs. A series of I am not palatable. Do not eat me. I am afraid.
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
He's letting his pride get in the way. You see the Phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its
Shh. Okay.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air. Slow. The creature tilts its tiny head to the side and appears to look at you. There is a sadness in there. Or is it in you? From the dream. It's still with you. The pitiful, "Hey," you told her. Nothing changes in the cyclical. Its insect mind is impenetrable to your. A sudden chirrup fills the air. It moves just an inch closer to you. Or does it only? Something in its body language has changed, just slightly. Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the Phasmid. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. Sweat drips from your brow, soaking your chest. You reek of it, your chemicals. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take in and expel air. It's smelling you. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
Maybe it is real, the pheromone.
About now, he is ready to be. The insect's head is crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves. The vent breathing you in, your sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze. The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Suddenly, no, stop, be afraid. The invertebrate comes back to life, stridulating. No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth. Along with, you were right, little bubbles form, the faintest smell, like you've never felt before. Like,
Careful, it may be poisonous.
the foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as letting out that same smell, like summer burning.
I exist. Tell me what it's like for you. Then I will tell you what it's like for me. Yes, holy is the Lord of hosts, and all the earth is filled with his glory. Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations. A swarm of sounds. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never ache. Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you, with all of creation reflected in your forebrain. It must, even when you're sleeping, and when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. I feel great, mute. That must be incredibly hard. The arthropods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're watching. When you're tired, when the visions, and when you fall, we will come to raise you up. But from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing.
In honor of your will, Lieutenant Euphrator, that you kept from falling apart in the face of sheer terror, day after day, second by second. Detective, Arriving. On the scene.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect? He's in a bad state, deteriorating fast now. He thinks I am beneficial to him very slowly, and only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep them from noticing me, to interfere with the pictures in their heads. But he has looked at me for too long, and I am destroying him. No, you're awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real. Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily. You can also eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth.
Wait, so...
Yes, they don't mind. Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident. I am an unknown species of the order Phasmodia, endemic to the Insulundian insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as...
It may have unknown, dangerous biochemical characteristics that help it maintain its camouflage.
I went unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of... I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Rebel Shop. Yes, I do not have a starter display, so I use a neurodegenerative element to aid in camouflage. Do not worry, it is only destructive over long periods of time.
The deserter. He's been here for a long time.
No, the moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while you are extreme, all-engulfing madness. A volunteer, the Pale too, came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all. It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organ...
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nerve mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if he misplaces us all one day? Or just forget? So, it is already happening. One day, one of you will close your eyes and sign, and open them to...
It doesn't look like that, no. You're just staring at it. Okay. Is it somehow related to the case? I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species.
No, there is one more. Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you before you go. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. For freedom. You cannot lie to me. Behind you, it smells of fires. So overly far you were prepared to go in her presence. And it. She was hell on earth. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
The insect sudden. No. Stop. Be afraid. As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent, praying to you. Unwittingly, the insect continues its stridulations. Perhaps it is preparing to eat its god. No reply. A total, you were right. The faintest smell.
Careful.
The foam letting out that same smell, like summer burning.
Okay.
There is no change in the insect's motion. What?
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The Phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward, the sweat on your arms feels cold as ice, as if you're frozen as well, in the shadow of this great statue of chitinous marble.
I got it.
For all time. The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the sensation is electrifying, resounding through. It is surprisingly delicate. The curly end of the whisker, like a young vine, looks like someone's got hurt in a fight. This antennae is much smaller than the other one.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen. It tastes like sugar, very faint, odorless, mostly the limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. Warning! It's about to move. You can sense it. A small shudder passes the creature's arm. There is some kind of countdown happening as it slowly processes the stimulus overloaded it. It's passing like hair. Within the smooth white inner part of its limb, you sense something very intimate. Thoughts.
The nervous system could be spread out like that, over the extremities.
Or a rhyocinta, an occidental leaf insect with its brain stored in 4 leaf-like extensions. Or another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record. As you're turning away, the Phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface. Just like that, it's gone. And something under it. In the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds.
It's gone. Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only... looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
What now?
In some kind of strange,
Our suspect is not looking so good.
This passport, issued by the Sovereign Republic of
Classia's hidden documents. From the MT boy.
It's Clasia, with short black hair and glasses. An old photo, before life came and did what it does.
Maybe our man, Mr. Dross, took it from Classia's, or whatever her name was. Hiding place, or... Like a magpie? What a coincidence. Then it would also have collected the other objects, which would be highly unusual.
By now, the lieutenant has accepted your unusual methods.
I can see how the helmet could wash up on the island, and the scope. Maybe Mr. Dross lost it, but to seek this out would be very unusual behavior.
Would it? Maybe it was a curious octopus would do something similar, or even a cuttlefish.
An octopus belongs to a very different class. It's not even an insect, it's a mollusk. But yes, I see your point. She said it would be for Anouk Meyer-Smith. Anouk Meyer-Smith.
Katarzyna Alazia was supposed to be her real name, where Clasia comes from. Remember? God damn it.
Yes, somehow she managed to lie to us, one more time. In a way, she's still lying to us right now. I don't know, but it's not Katarzyna Alazia, or Clasia, or Anouk Meyer-Smith. We didn't even scratch the surface with her, detective. Perhaps it's better that we didn't arrest her. Who knows what hell she'd be raising in my district by now.
The winds are silent. The streets are empty of her.
What is it? What do you want from...
Something is very wrong with him now.
See?
Mr. Dross?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed up with fear and longing, like an addict of some terrible substance. The plastic cape feels coarse. A light shiver passes the man.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem.
The trembling mouth.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid. Old age and shock. Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the Phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than...
There's much more. Remember what it said when it spoke? Quite a few things about that health check you did on him make sense now.
That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here. Mr. Dross,